I'm going to show you the 5 easy steps to how to live stream on YouTube using OBS so that as soon as this video is finished, you can start live streaming. And we're starting right now. What is going on? My name is Nick. Welcome to another video. If this is quicker, what reason is it that you are wanting to live stream your computer? Then if you do not see this black skin here, but you want it, all you have to do is go into your settings panel, and underneath the theme under the general tab, you can just click on that and then you can change it from the default to the dark. So I know a lot of YouTubers are into the dark stuff like me, so just wanted to go ahead and give you that side tip. Once you have it looking the way that you want to go into your youtube.com/live_dashboard inside of your Creator Studio. Once you are there, you want to scroll all the way down and you're going to see an area that says Encoder Setup. You'll want to copy the stream name /key. So to do that, you want to click the reveal option and then you highlight it, copy it, and then go ahead and click hide. Now make sure that you keep this key to yourself, because if someone else has this key, that gives them the ability to stream on your account and nobody wants that. Once you have your key, you go back into OBS, you go over to the right, you will see a settings option, you click on that. You'll go under the streams tab and you want to make sure that you have streaming services selected. From the drop down here, you want to make sure that you have YouTube, and then you want to make sure that you have primary YouTube ingest server selected. From there, you are just going to paste your key into the stream key box. Once you have that set up, you want to hit apply and then hit OK. Next, we are going to assume that you already have your webcam hooked up to your computer. If you do not, go ahead and plug in your webcam, and then you want to go under the sources menu here where it says sources. You want to go down and you want to click the little plus icon. When you do that, it's going to give you a bunch of different options, which I will go into in later tutorials, but in this one you want to add video capture device. Give it any name that you want to, and then it's going to basically put on the screen the camera that you are pulling from. So if you get this square box like I see right here, then what you want to do is you want to click on the resolution tab, go to custom, and then you want to select the resolution that you want to push your video through at. Then you hit OK. And from there, there's one more step, but I'm going to give you a side tip as well. When you test everything to make sure that you have it up and running, one problem that a lot of people get when they are going live is they get an audio sync problem that happens. In order to fix that, all you have to do is you have to go into your mixer option here, and you will see that you have an option for whichever audio device it is that you're using. So what you want to do in that situation is you just want to adjust the milliseconds on the audio to compensate for that lag. For me, usually between 200 and 500 usually does the trick. Once you have everything set up inside of OBS that we just went over, you want to head over to back to your YouTube streaming page. From there, you want to make sure that you put your title and your description just like you normally would for a video, because these live videos, when you do them, they can rank as well. So you want to make sure that you get everything together in your meta. And for your tags, you want to make sure that you click on the advanced settings here. And when you do that, then you can click on basic info, and then that will allow you to add your tags there as well. So once you have that part of it set up, I strongly recommend that you do a private stream first, or an unlisted stream that you share with friends, so that you can, make sure that your audio is synced up and make sure that everything is coming out exactly the way that you want to. And as long as everything is set up the way that you want to, then you go back into OBS and then you hit start streaming. And when that happens, you'll keep an eye on this up here where it says offline. And then once your stream starts going through, it's going to say starting. And then right now it is telling me that I am live. So one thing that you can do is you can test your audio sync right here on this, or you can also test your audio sync by actually opening up your channel page and going to the specific URL of your stream, which would be whatever your channel is /live. Then once your stream is over, all you have to do is go back into OBS and you hit stop streaming. And then from there, YouTube will close everything else down, and then you are taken care of and your first stream is complete. This video is part of a playlist on how to live stream on YouTube. So if you want to learn more advanced options inside of OBS, make sure that you go ahead and hit the subscribe button. And if I've already made the tutorials live by the time that you've gotten here, then I will put a card up here somewhere to the actual playlist. So you can just click on that and then go find whatever topic it is that you're interested in.
Hey guys, today I'm going to show you how to install two separate instances of OBS, so you can do two different streams at once, or one high quality recording one stream, and use separate profiles, separate settings for each at different, so we can separately start each one, but with the setting so we can start more than one instance of OBS. So I will show you in a second. That's pretty easy. We just have to append a short commando to the end of the target line. -multi makes it so you can start multiple instances of OBS, and -portable makes it so OBS saves all settings in its own folder. So you can do separate settings for OBS version 1 and OBS version 2. We need to do this for both of the shortcuts. So each of them uses the setup and we can do what we want. So now we can start each of them, and we will see I already did a little setup to showcase you the next step. Because if you now, for example, are on a 2 PC setup and running this or everything with a capture card, you will run into the problem that if you use the capture card on this PC, let me quickly set it up correctly. On this instance of OBS, I mean, and then want to use it on this instance as well, it will stay black, because it can't be used in two instances at the same time. So to use a capture card in two instances of OBS, we have to use a workaround. Let's try if we can. Yeah, now it's showing right here, needs the settings as well. So it can only work in one instance, but we can use a workaround software. I found
After my last round of OBS tutorials, a question I got quite frequently was asking why one might want to use multiple scenes in OBS Studio. Why not just throw everything into one scene and switch from there? Today's video is a little bit of a higher level discussion around streaming with OBS Studio. I'm EposVox, here to make tech easier and more fun, and welcome back to my OBS Studio tutorial course. I have many videos on the software in the playlist linked to the video description. Check that out before asking questions. I answer most of them in this course, and there's an introduction video explaining how this whole course works if you get confused. If you don't yet understand what scenes or sources are, specifically check the video about them in the course playlist as well. I have a specific video covering why scenes and sources are a thing, what they are. Scenes are great. My main Twitch scene collection has lots of scenes. I've got Stream is Starting Soon, Be Right Back, and Stream is Over slideshows, a scene with console and gameplay facecam and a visual overlay for stream alerts and labels, a full screen webcam scene, full views for all of my other webcams, gameplay without a facecam, desktop views of my multiple monitors, and even a scene with pre-recorded gameplay footage in case I need to step away from the stream for more than a minute or two. So why should you use multiple scenes instead of adding everything to one scene? Well, for many reasons. For one, a good stream has things configured in a polished way, such as your stream alerts being sized correctly and not block too much of the stream or of your face cam in a small corner so you can be seen without blocking too much of the gameplay, and so on. If you try to shove everything in one scene, things won't look right at all. Alert sizing fits differently over top of gameplay and over top of desktop view, for example. Plus, you can't have both a full-size webcam view and a cropped small corner face cam in the same scene. By setting up different scenes with things sized out and set up appropriately in separate scenes, you can create an awesome stream. The professionalism and polish will be appreciated by your viewers. The same goes when you're switching scenes. Fiddling with your mouse to show or hide sources and move things around looks really bad to an audience. The more seamless your streaming experience can be for your viewers, the easier of a time you'll have gaining new followers and keeping them around.
If you do different kinds of recording with OBS Studio, setting up separate scenes can save you time too. A webcam scene with a full screen webcam view for vlogs or channel updates, a gameplay scene for just gameplay recording, a gameplay facecam scene for live sessions, a desktop scene for tutorials, and so on. These are handy. If you do need to make edits to a scene while you're already live streaming, that is what studio mode is for. I've covered this before, but if you click studio mode, you're given two different views of your scenes. The one on the right is the active scene that your viewers are seeing live, or your recording file is seeing live. The left one is whatever scene you've clicked on that you want to edit. So then if you need to make adjustments or whatever, pull up studio mode, have the be right back scene on the right or something, edit your scene on the left, and then you can transition to the new copy. So don't resist the great capability of the almighty OBS Studio and jump in and make some dynamic scenes for your setup. I hope this quick episode of my OBS Studio tutorial course has been helpful for you. If it was, smash the like button, get subscribed for awesome tech videos, come follow me on Twitch if you'd like as well. Until next time, I'm AblesVox. Happy streaming, hopefully with multiple scenes.
Thanks for watching this episode of my OBS Studio tutorial course. More videos like this and a full master class are linked in the playlist in the video description. Click to learn more. Also, consider joining us on Patreon to help keep tech education free. Go to
Steve and Dave use eToro to invest in the financial markets. Steve does research on...
After my last round of Are you ready to take your streaming or media creation career to the next level? Are you new to streaming, or are you looking to work out, set a file size limit, and so on? Once you're ready, hit convert and record to a lower resolution than your resolution set in your video settings tab in those recordings. If you're recording on a laptop and then you feel bad about it, turn off unnecessary services and programs. If you're not running a Steam game, a Battle.net game, an Origin, Uplay, or what, the audio it provides much more profile. All of your audio bitrate due to the way variable frame rate Throughout all of these OBS Studio videos, two things you'll probably hear referred to most are scenes and sources. It's probably a good idea to make sure you know what the heck I'm talking about then, right?
The Elgato Cam Link takes your mirrorless DSLR, GoPro, or camcorder and turns it into a higher quality facecam than option.
Sources are your, well, Sources of data for your stream. Video input devices such as webcams and capture cards, desktop monitor captures, game inputs, microphones, images, website overlays, and so on. There are many different source types available. It's a good idea to familiarize yourself with the options available to you. Audio input and output capture allows you to add specific audio devices to specific scenes that you don't want to be globally available. Typically, you'd add your input and output devices in the audio settings in OBS, but sometimes you want specific things to be added only within certain scenes, such as adding a music track to a BRB scene or something like that. I have a virtual audio device set up, thanks to XSplit ironically, which is always playing a music playlist for my stream. I have that device added only to my stream is starting soon, be right back, and stream is now offline scenes. This way, while in those transition scenes, my stream-friendly music is playing, but during actual stream time, the music isn't heard. This makes it so that I don't have to listen to the music either. I use VLC to play back the music to that specific audio device. A browser source is a super fun one for live streaming. In classic OBS, you needed a plugin for this functionality, but it's now built in to OBS Studio. The power of open source development. This is what streamers use to get their follower alerts and other pop-up elements on their streams. By adding a browser source, you can input the URL of the website. This is fine and dandy to showcase a normal website, sure, but it can also be used to automatically chroma key out alert boxes from services such as Streamlabs or TipeeeStream. Set a resolution and a frame rate appropriate for your stream settings, and whammo! Stream alerts overlaid onto your video. TipeeeStream has a very advanced overlay editor that can be used to set up just about anything, whereas Streamlabs has a solid but more limited feature set. I use Streamlabs during my streams. We'll cover these in more in-depth videos in future videos in the course. A color source is just that, a solid color. You can give it a width and a height, choose the appropriate color for your needs. It's pretty basic. This can be handy for backgrounds, or if you nest scenes within each other, you can set up some advanced masking or layered chroma keying for removing things from a scene, if needed. Display capture is a direct feed from your monitor. You can choose between multiple monitors if you use more than one, and you can choose to show or hide your cursor, which is handy. On computers with a single graphics card, this works perfectly, but on lower-end desktops or laptops with both a discrete graphics card for use for gaming and a graphics handler built into the CPU, this can be finicky as the two graphics cards handle different things in your computing experience, and OBS can really only use one at a time. So you may end up with a black screen in your game capture, but display capture works fine, or a black screen in display capture, but games work fine. In this case, you'll have to set up different profiles and scene collections for different activities. We have a video covering scene collections more in depth in the course. I use display capture heavily as that's how I record my tutorials of my desktop.
Wow!
How to invest in stocks.
Game capture is great for capturing games, duh, or full screen applications. This creates a hook within your graphics driver to capture the direct feed from the game, much like how older recording programs such as Fraps and DxStory worked. As with display capture, if you have multiple display devices within your system, there can be issues with black screens. Just tinker around changing your display device in advanced settings to try to fix it. Dedicated videos on this are also in the course playlist. Adding an image source is what you would use for adding stream overlays, webcam frames, and so on. I use an overlay for some of my stream scenes. Many streamers use overlays, watermarks, and webcam frames to add a little more flair to their streams. Image slideshow is useful for, well, slideshows. Whenever my stream is just starting, I need to run to the bathroom, or my stream is ending, I use slideshows to cycle between slides saying stream is starting soon, be right back, or offline, and slides for my various sponsors or affiliate codes. This adds a little more professional polish to a stream. If you have a high-end Intel-based system and an Intel RealSense webcam and chose to install the RealSense driver package when installing OBS, you can set up the RealSense green screen webcam view as a source as well. This is different than normal webcams. Next, you can add a media source, adding a music or video file. You actually have two ways to set this up, a media source or VLC media source. This is for compatibility purposes with some systems. If the video isn't playing back properly on your system, you can try switching to the other kind of media source and see if it has better results. This can be used to add a graphic to your scene that cycles in and out if you enable looping on the media, or for just having a dedicated scene to share a video clip. I have a scene set up in my Twitch layout with a gameplay match I want to share with my followers. I haven't used it yet, but if something comes up that requires me stepping away from my stream for more than a minute or two, such as when my cat randomly decides to vomit, I can flick this scene on and give my viewers something to watch and talk about, instead of sending them all away due to dead air. You obviously want to avoid dead air as much as possible while streaming. If you want to be able to hear the video play back, in your mixer you can enable audio monitoring for that source, and the audio will play back to you as well. A video covering audio monitoring and the audio mixer in much more depth is in the course playlist. Next up, you can add a scene to your scene. I heard you like scenes, so I'll put some scenes in your scenes. This may sound confusing, but this kind of nesting is an important part of video production. This can be used in some very, very advanced and complicated ways to create some live streaming magic, but hopefully my examples are straightforward enough to help it make sense. I primarily use scene nesting in two ways. The first way is to create and organize my overlays for a live stream. I have combined a lot of overlays into one scene. Follower and donation alerts for Twitch, super chat alerts for YouTube, now playing text for music, along with a bar at the bottom of the screen which highlights my most recent follower, most recent donation, and top donation of the month. The bottom bar and text sources for the three names are in a scene of their own called bottom bars for overlays. Then I have an overlays scene which adds this scene in along with the Streamlabs alerts and so on. Then I add this entire overlay scenes to all of my normal scenes, such as my gameplay view, webcam view, and so on. By doing this, I can make quick adjustments to the overlays and have the changes affect all of my scenes at once, and I can just turn off the bottom bars with a simple hotkey press while still having the alerts show up. It's kinda neat. Another important use for this is for my face cams. Normally, with a video source, if you make a change to the source, such as adding a crop, a filter, or so on, it affects that source everywhere in the scene collection. So if I have a full screen webcam scene and a scene with my webcam over my gameplay, and I then crop off the empty sides of my webcam on the gameplay scene, suddenly my webcam only scene also has the sides cropped off showing a bunch of black space. To work around this, I leave the webcam only scene alone, but then made a new scene called webcam nest, which just has the webcam in it again. But now I add this webcam nest scene as the face cam to my gameplay scenes and apply the crop to that. Now, just the uses of that nested scene will have the crop, whereas the original webcam scene with the raw webcam source looks just fine. It sounds a little complicated, but once you experiment with it, it makes a world of difference for what you can do. Oh yeah, and text sources, they add text to your scene. Who would have thought? You can customize the webcam nest, which just has the webcam in it again. But now I add this webcam nest scene as the face cam to my gameplay scenes. Then I have an overlays scene which adds this scene in along with the Streamlabs alerts and so on. Then I add this entire overlay scenes to all of my normal scenes, such as my gameplay view, webcam view, and so on. By doing this, I can make quick adjustments to the overlays and have the changes affect all of my scenes at once, and I can just turn off the bottom bars with a simple hotkey press while still having the alerts show up. It's kinda neat. Another important use for this is for my face cams. Normally, with a video source, if you make a change to the source, such as adding a crop, a filter, or so on, it affects that source everywhere in the scene collection. So if I have a full screen webcam scene and a scene with my webcam over my gameplay, and I then crop off the empty sides of my webcam on the gameplay scene, suddenly my webcam only scene also has the sides cropped off showing a bunch of black space. To work around this, I leave the webcam only scene alone, but then made a new scene called webcam nest, which just has the webcam in it again. But now I add this webcam nest scene as the face cam to my gameplay scenes and apply the crop to that. Now, just the uses of that nested scene will have the crop, whereas the original webcam scene with the raw webcam source looks just fine. It sounds a little complicated, but once you experiment with it, it makes a world of difference for what you can do. Oh yeah, and text sources, they add text to your scene. Who would have thought? You can customize the font, size, and so on. That's pretty basic. The cool part is that it can automatically load text from a text file and keep it updated. This is used to show the now playing for currently played songs, as well as some Streamlabs stream labels I use to show my recent followers, donations, and so on. It's kinda handy. You just point it to the text file and it automatically loads whatever text is imported into that file. Lastly, we have the two other big source types, window capture and video capture device. I've saved these for last. Window capture is for what it says, capturing windows. This is useful when you want to show literally only what is happening within a specific window, for showing work in a program or non-full screen game without showing anything else you do on your desktop. And it keeps showing whatever the window is doing, even if you bring other windows in front of it on your computer. So you can use it to show websites or, dynamic web alerts while still blocking it off whatever you're doing. Some streamers use this to show their Twitch chat in their live stream. Window capture is also beneficial because it captures the same view of the window, even if you move it around on your screen. Whereas with desktop capture, you would have to adjust your scaling and cropping once you move the window. It gets messy. You can still choose whether or not you want the cursor to
XD. Кажи музи XD. Да. Защо вече аз не съм дошъл? Тези неща... Да, бе, но тези неща отдавна са махнати в този Windows. Добре. Ще го мислям. Не е сигурно. Ти ще... Мисля да ходим да играем микст. Да ходим да играем микст. И пак са кефен, бе. Имаш още 2 часа.